What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Justbwise, and today I want to talk about how we can get more stable footage without having a gimbal or a Steadicam or anything like that. Let's get it. All right, so let's just jump straight into it. The first thing that you can do to get more stable footage straight out of the gate, bam, shoot wider footage. The tighter you shoot, the more noticeable it's gonna be that you're, our hands as humans, you think you're being stable, but you're not. So when you're shooting tighter, it's gonna be more noticeable, those little jitters that will come up, and it's gonna look major when you actually go back and look at the footage, like what we can see right here. But when you go ahead and shoot wider, what happens is it's way more forgiving because there's so much more in the image that it's not so focused in or magnified what's happening with the jitters. So just shooting wider alone is gonna help your footage look much smoother than it will if you're shooting, for instance, if you're shooting on a 70mm opposed to shooting on like a 24. Number two, did I do number one? Did I say number one, or I just jumped into it? I think I just jumped into it. Number two thing that you can do to go ahead and make your footage look more cinematic and more smooth is adding movement. And I don't mean having the subject move. I mean you holding the camera. You need to move. So what this is gonna do is eliminate a lot of these little micro jitters by adding more slow movement. Maybe we're panning to the left, maybe we're panning to the right. We could be coming in closer, moving closer to the subject, moving away from the subject. There's a lot of different little micro moves that we can do just to add a little bit of movement into it. And also what that's gonna do is actually make your footage look a little bit more cinematic. It's gonna add more dynamics to your, look at that rhyme, cinematic dynamic. But it's gonna add more dynamic to your footage as well, because you're getting different perspectives when you're moving, when you actually move, opposed to just having the subject move. Tip number three is pretty much just using what came with your camera, a camera strap. If you go ahead, add the camera strap back onto the camera. I know a lot of us take it off because it's annoying and it's always in the way and it's just ridiculous, but put your camera strap back on. Now you're gonna use the back of your neck. As a matter of fact, hold on one second, hold on. All right, example. So, and I should have B-roll of this, and if I don't, shame on me. But, so you're gonna use the camera strap, use the back of it as one point to kind of help you stay a little bit stable, and then your two hands are gonna be the other 2 points. So you essentially will have 3 contact points on the camera. So now you're adding a little tension from the back of your neck, and you have your hands on the camera, and this is gonna add just a tad bit more, helping you be stable so your footage doesn't look like this. Tip number 4 is to shoot in slow motion. The reason we want to shoot in slow motion is because now any of those little small movements that we didn't actually want are now dragged out a little bit, and they're less noticeable when it's shot in slow motion. If you're pairing all of the tips that we talked about thus far together, you're going to get a much more cinematic and smooth looking image. If you're shooting wide, if you're adding movement, if you're adding the camera strap to even take away a little bit more of that jitter, and if you're shooting in slow motion, it's gonna give you so much more cinematic looking footage. Final tip number 5. Man, it's usually so cold in my house, but I'm burning right now. Yeah, I know, I live in South Florida. Why am I wearing a jacket, and why under my jacket do I have on long sleeves? Don't ask me questions. No, your boy's hot, so whatever. This final tip is more so focused on your gear. So whether you have stabilization in your lenses or you have in-body stabilization in your camera, these things are gonna help to reduce the amount of shake that you have, in addition to you adding the previous 4 things that we talked about. Now, adding all of them together is gonna make you feel like, bruh, I don't even need a gimbal, bruh. Like, get this gimbal out of my face. But these are important techniques to have so that you can always have great quality footage. Now, it is better to use like a glide cam or to get a gimbal, because it just, it's gonna ease your workflow a lot, and it's gonna look better. It is like, you're never gonna be as stable as a gimbal or a glide cam. But I just wanna be able to help, because like, as you already know, this channel is more geared to helping people to move from being a budget filmmaker, which is where we at right now into being a filmmaker that can get whatever they need to get. But we got to start by mastering the equipment that we have right now and not just longing for the more expensive equipment. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Please like if this was helpful for you in any way, and also comment below if you have anything to. I just thought I saw a big old bug in my house. Freaked me out a little bit. Anyway, please comment below to let me know if you have any tips that you would like to add. And also, we're gonna continue from last week and read some of these comments before I gotta get out of here. So first, we have Cooking Buddies. That's Buddies, right? I think that's Buddies. Cooking Buddies. How did the Sony keep up? Oh Lord, I cannot read. I am tired. How did the Sony keep up during the wedding? I'm thinking about buying one this weekend. Okay, so I said during that video, that the initial video when I reviewed the A7 II, that I was gonna touch base again, and I haven't done that yet. But to update everyone, it did phenomenally. It was great. It was just as I expected. And also, I did now realize the issue with the battery life, but I didn't really have the issue as much because of the battery grip. But yeah, it held up great. All right, we got Z-Rack, and he says, honey,
what? Where's my super suit?
All right, and you know we gotta shout out Nicholas Santi, cause he helping your boy out here. He says, nice ending. Your wife was wrong. Haha, great content as usual. Appreciate you, bro. I do appreciate it. And looky here. The lady says, laugh out loud. Okay, honey, you win. Great job, love. Got a shout out to the wife. The comment section has spoken, so I gave you some tools. Actually, I'm gonna change it a little bit. I don't like I gave you tools to be great. I gave you tools to create. Now go be great. To me, sounds a little bit better. So let's go with that. I gave you some tools to create. Now go be great. Peace. Should I do the walk away, or should I, cover the camera? Everybody's covering the camera now, but people walk away too. It's hard. This is hard.